Her story begins in a remote valley, not unlike our own. And yes, her story begins because we will have vengeance! And once again, we have been reborn into DotAGE, where we are turning away from the sea and that cursed ghost crew that is guided over by a very, very cursed captain, and we are proving we have what it takes to take on the hard difficulty of the gods, fight back against the elements, and finally make one of our poor village of patrons actually survive and hopefully, not freeze to death, murder each other, die of sudden disease, perhaps be killed off by very angry bunnies seeking vengeance. No, we're going to prove that we can make it. And we are going to prove that we have what it takes, because I may or may not have been badgering my husband behind the scenes for a little while now to poke DotAGE with me so that I could figure out whether or not am I just doomed? Can I just not handle hard difficulty? It turns out perhaps in an alternative universe where maybe I snuck onto his save files instead to poke it a few times, we can handle it, and we will have victory. The first victory I have ever faced with the hard difficulty, and we will prove that we can unlock all of the memory beans and the legend of the last elder. So welcome back, everyone. And this time around, we are starting with the shaman, who is making her grand return after the village of Uphill one way, downhill both ways were both destroyed. We are instead turning our attention now to the village of the Angry Owl, where we will be seeking wisdom and protection of this very ruffled, angry, fluffy, feathered bird, and we will be hopefully guiding our villagers to success and vengeance with the shaman, because the shaman kind of got tired of just watching the captain die off many times. So, just a few more steps, my dear companions. We're almost there. Feel the earth under your feet and the wind in your hair. Let nature guide us. Indeed, indeed, little pipling, indeed. Oh, and it looks like we have a lot of fertile terrain and strawberries and a lot of bunnies, which we are going to need to be very careful about, since you know what happens if you kill a bunny when you're, the shamanistic tribe. It's not pretty. It's not pretty at all. Oh, she was lovely. She knew all the sounds of the trees and animals. We must stay here and embrace the spirits of nature. Shaman, it looks like you literally just got dipped in mud. That is hilarious. This looks like a pretty nice place, Shaman. Let us work. Oh my gosh, Shaman! Hand in hand with the elements and the spirits of nature, my companions. Together we will build a harmonious village. Now let's begin. No. We are gonna immediately begin to build the village, guided by the grace and wisdom of the shaman, but also guided by the vengeance of the Angry Owl, which will hopefully be the victor to our quest to be able to seek out places. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of bunnies. To be able to seek out places where we will have the strength that we need to face the gods and give them a good sucker punch to the face, because we really, really, really want to be able to go ahead and, defeat them for once. They have killed off many of our universes. Many of our patrons have died to their whims and their glorious godly game of goofiness, and we're going to win, because maybe I've got a little bee in my bonnet, and maybe I've gotten a little toasty, and maybe I want to prove that we can do it. So before we do anything else, let's double check the research tree, so we know where we need to go for the different resources, and I don't get us too far away from the mountain springs that we will need to go ahead and have access to in order to have the water we need to plant the crops that will have to be gathered from seeds that are right next to the woods. Okay, couple constraints already. Need to make sure we have access to woods if we want any seeds, and also, actual wood for building. And we need to be near a mountain so that we can have access to water. We'll have to see what kind of plant we can grow. So we'll have to unlock this as quickly as we can so that we can figure out what plants we need and maybe survive off of bread again so that we don't have to turn to the bunnies. So we'll be turning our attention there. And then we have over here none other than the rabbit hutch once more. But you know what happens if we build the rabbit hutch, friends. You know what happens. It's not good. It's not good at all. And oh man, oh, there's something we haven't unlocked inside the memories. Whoa, I wonder if it would be a way to not have to kill, like, you know, any bunnies. But maybe we'll just have to focus on trying to expand Village Hall, like the town Village Hall, with a bunch of the wood, the stone, and the planks. So maybe we won't have to kill any bunnies. And as a backup, we might need to go ahead and maybe, you know, maybe look into the rabbit hutch anyway, so that we could possibly see sheep or cows. You know, we still haven't had any cows or any pigs, but again, pigs we would have to kill. So yeah, we're gonna have to find a peaceful way to unite with nature, but also this time around, if we need to. The angry owl in its wisdom has warned us that it may be necessary to sacrifice some of the innocent little rabbits so that the village can thrive and survive. But considering that the rabbits have also been destroyed, the whole universe destroyed, multiple times, I think although they would rule against fate and be very upset that they have to sacrifice themselves, I think a few of the rabbits would be okay with that because, you know, the whole universe ending kind of sucks for everyone. But we'll have to see if we need to turn to such desperate measures. And how are we going to warm up, cool off, and a little meeting point so that we can have people be happy together. And we also have puddles. That's going to be kind of tricky to keep us cool in the summer because you get a boost if you're next to the water, and the water makers can only be at the mountains. And then we have bonfires, which can thankfully be anywhere, but they do consume wood. So we're going to want to make sure we get a lot of wood. What do we have for education? Oh, the little buffet. Okay, so this time around we have the Solace Buffet, where food turns into happiness, so like hope, and also health. And of course we have the totem for being able to go ahead and having a bunch of our animals about. Probably want to put some research into that soon, and probably want to get some scribe scribblers pretty soon, because, you know, being next to the bunnies doesn't exactly add up as much knowledge as you would hope, and the druids are pretty specialized. And then for construction, we need to learn, we definitely need to learn about signs. Like that might actually, okay, that might actually be the first thing. Or maybe the wood stack should be the first thing. Oh dear. The stone gatherers must be next to mountains. The stone workbench this time. So we're gonna want to gather a lot of stone, noted. What the heck is that? Huh. And then let's see. We've also got the warehouse. Okay, so if we want wood, we need forest. Thankfully, there's a lot of it. There's several fertile tiles where we could get double the boost on, or well, it's like 1.5 the boost on whatever crops we grow. Let's see, we've got a lot of bunnies. We have some spots that have a lot of apples, but no, like there's a lot of bunnies over here, which would be good for the shaman. There's some bunnies over here. There's one bunny up there. There's a ton of bunnies over here. Like this would be where we would want to stick our shamans. This actually might be an okay spot because we'd have access to woods. We'd have access to berries. We would have access to, oh, look, like right here, more animals too. Oh, okay. This might be a pretty good spot because there's multiple spots where we have at least 2 animals to give our druids a whole bunch of inspiration. This might be good. And then we've got food here and room to expand up towards this fertile field over there. Okay, I think this might actually be it. So let's do it. Oh my gosh, I did that. No! Okay, by such sudden jumping into the cold water with the fishies decisions, or maybe splashing in the puddles with the bunnies, the fate of our village has begun. So, let's go ahead and bequeath upon those who have happened to made this home the sacred names of our patrons, and hope that they're going to be a lot luckier than all of the other patrons have been so far. And we're going to welcome in Dino Dave! Welcome, my friend! We are actually starting afresh with a new Patreon on the list, but don't worry, I have added the ones we haven't used as like double bonuses for later. And Ginger Fury, welcome back! It's so wonderful to see all of you reborn yet again, along with Lord Thunder. Oh my gosh, Lord Thunder, good luck. Maybe you'll be like a knowledge person again. And then we've got Marsh, and Marsh, welcome. Marsh Midge. Let's see, can I get the whole thing this time? Okay, where is the spelling? I want to make sure. There we go. Oh, we did it! Marsh, welcome. Welcome. From these humble four shall hopefully rise a fruitful fate for many of us. And also, you know, keeping all of the little animals alive. This is a great spot for like having 3 animals on each side. Yes. And then we're also gonna want probably pouring our efforts into more knowledge with the bunnies and everything else. Very useful. There's 2 bunnies here, 2 bunnies here. We need to get a signpost researched, and then we'll have a fish and a bunny over here. So we've got at least a couple spots where we can have a lot of knowledge. So we'll go ahead and put one right here. And then not build a dwelling right now, I don't think. Instead we'll go ahead and we'll put in a spot to gather up some wood. All right, well, here we go, guys. It's kind of now or never, so let's see what we can manage before the gods start showing up and we see what challenges, what difficulties, what fate and prophecy has in store for the village of the Angry Owl. And you may be wondering, Siri, why Angry Owl? Because Little Man, the barred owl who we watched grow up from, well, we kind of watched him grow up, from a juvenile into an adult who occasionally lives in our backyard and might even settle into it for territory this breeding season. He fought a hawk the other day. Like, he tackled this hawk to the ground, and we heard screaming, like hawk-ish screaming outside. Kee, 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 kee. And it's like nothing else when you hear a hawk screaming in anger or pain. And when we looked out the window, our little barred owl had pinned a juvenile male red shoulder hawk to the ground, who was a little smaller than him, and pecked him so good that he had a little bit of blood on his beak and chased the hawk away from his territory. The hawk seemed fine. We found him in a tree later, and he was just ruffled and like angry and ruffling his feathers. But little man, he was so proud. That night, he hooted so hard, like hoo, 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 hee, hoo, hoo, like a lot. And we just were impressed because we got to see this little juvenile owl, now I guess officially an adult, defend his territory, and it was really impressive. And I will try to remember to show some of the pictures or the, I don't think we got any video, just pictures real fast, because it happened really fast, that my beloved husband Chips managed to snag, because it was amazing. And I realized if we need to have a little bit of anger, a little bit to be able to help us go ahead and fight back against the gods and promote the strength of nature and the natural world, well, why not an angry owl? Thus, the Angry Owl. Whoa, now we've got a couple druids as well. But hopefully the anger of the Angry Owl will guide us as we manage to go ahead and have a healthy population of druids constantly gaining a bunch of cool knowledge. And we are able to, you know, like grow our little village. This should be pretty good. There's only so much food on those strawberries, so actually we should probably research the sign first. Just realized as I looked closer, I was like, wait a second, we need to reach either those strawberries or we need to like put down, ooh, that's a lot of nice apples. Ooh, that apple's on a fertile tile. Oh, the soil there gives us 8 apples. Are apples good for, ooh, only spring too? What about strawberries? How long are they good for? Spring and summer. But we might have better luck if we, ooh, look at all these strawberries. Okay, we should probably wiggle our way to the south first. Well, and the north has the fertile fields. Little column A, little column B, you know how it is. And actually we do have some seeds, but to plant the seeds, we would need to have, yes, to plant the seeds, we would need to have water, and to have water, we need to have a mountain spring. And suddenly it's getting kind of cramped around here, space-wise. So signpost it is. Onwards, my wonderful villagers. May the anger of the owl guide you. And actually barred owls are one of the, I think, few if only like owl species who are really doing very well in North America, because they settle into areas that are very urbanized quite neatly. Like they aren't as put off by the lights and the noise of a city and suburbia as a lot of owls are. And they're also known for being the most aggressive. So if you ever hear about people being attacked by an owl in North America, usually a barred owl, which are not the largest owls, but they're exceptionally territorial. Never play a call of a barred owl in an area where you know there are barred owls, because they might actually attack you, like, and it can do serious damage. Like, look at those talons one day. They're sharp. But when I say angry owl, they can be scary when they're angry. So I mean like angry owl. All right, now let's see. Now that I have rambled a little bit, let's carry on. I don't know if I want to get more people just yet, but they take forever to grow up. Maybe once we start getting a little more space. We might want to space out our dwellings really far though, because we can only build so many dwellings with the poor bunnies that we've got so far. Let's see, if I put this one over here, that'll let us reach one more patch of berries. I put this one here. Can we reach? We might be able to reach the apples if we go this way. So let's see if we can reach the apples in time. All right, onwards, little builder. And then, yeah, we have a few days left of our berries there. So what should we have everybody research next? The wood stack is very useful because that would actually allow us to go ahead and get more wood. But considering normally we need wood for building like dwellings, and we aren't gonna need to worry about dwellings because that's only leather, curses. How about we turn our attention to the tall totem in order to go ahead and start getting more knowledge first? That will probably, well, you know what? Actually, let's turn our attention to the forger so we know what kind of plants we're working with, and that can help us with figuring out how we shall lay out the future of the village. And I love the idea that there's just like angry owl iconography, like amulets and maybe like stitching in the clothes on all of our people here, and they're going to be the ones that finally make it so that everyone can survive the apocalypse. Okay, we are running a little low on berries over there, a bit nerve-wracking, but never fear, Marshmidge, and sure enough, Lord Thunder, you have managed to sneak in there as another knowledge person. That is so awesome. Our druids will hopefully be able, through their wisdom, to provide us with at least the forager, which at least can give us, you know, seeds and a little bit of food that I think that our good friend Ginger Fury, hey, might be able to gather for us. Maybe right here. This just looks nice next to the bunnies and next to the strawberries. Ginger Fury, I'm gonna let you work on that, and then we're gonna carry on trying to get these signposts. We're almost to the apples. And that's Dino Dave, our little adventurous Dino Dave, seeking out the, well, I would say the apples of the apocalypse, but that, I mean, the apples of the apocalypse are the only ones that have helped us so far, now that I think of it. Carrots! Oh my word. It's carrots again. We can do this. +2 if field building is within 1. Carrot fields. That is what we can plant in order to go ahead and try to keep our villagers alive. I think that's fitting, considering we may also have to unite ourselves with the rabbits and possibly face their sacrifices in the future. Curses on the apple tree, because on the one hand, the apple tree is really useful, but on the other hand, it's like one of the only trees that only shows up for spring. To be fair, chestnut trees also only show up for autumn. They actually give you chestnuts. That's not a lot of chestnuts. And then pear trees have a ton on them. I guess they're only for autumn too. Apple trees. One of these days I'd love to have orange trees, even if they are seasonal too. Okay, never mind. I guess all of the trees only go into season for a certain amount of time. Berry shrubs, spring and summer. Strawberries. We picked the small fruits from the undergrowth. I swear they were sweeter when I was young. I'm sure they changed the recipe. That actually might be true in some cases because strawberries have become larger and redder to be more appealing to people for sales, but they have lost a lot of their sweetness in genetically like pursuing that. But we'll talk about that another day. I'm happy. And blueberry bushes! Those are the ones I wish we had a lot more of more often because they're around like for spring, summer, and autumn. But now that I'm looking at it, they only have like 20 berries, so that's not nearly as useful as an apple tree. Oh geez, now that I'm really thinking about it, being able to get like 60 apples, that's a lot of apples. And yeah, I'm actually really proud I was able to do that much math. You guys know, this calculus sucks. But Chips has been helping me. All right, so now that we have managed to go ahead and discover that carrots will indeed be the thing that hopefully we will be able to spread amongst our villagers. Oh, what else is being spread amongst our villagers? Marsh? Dino? You hanging out with the bunnies here? Yeah, druids say bunnies are cool, maybe? Aww. Is somebody being funny? Oh, I love the little bunny. They're so cute. I really hope we don't have to kill them this time. Oh, Dino Dave is funny. He gained the funny quirk. That's adorable. And look at this. We're almost over to the apple trees. Thank freaking goodness. Oh, all right. So, Dino Dave, you funny, funny fellow. If you could just wiggle us a little bit closer to the apple trees, that'd be great. And then we can start picking those for food. And then for these, should we start working on seeds actually instead of the totem? Yes, because we have made the mistake of not feeding our people way too often. So we're gonna do that. And then I think, speaking of feeding our people, it may be about time to consider possibly building one of the dwellings. Kind of away from everything, but in an area where we'll leave a buffer around the dwelling so that hopefully we can go ahead and have any of the buildings that need to be within a certain distance of a dwelling, or they get a boost if they're next to a dwelling, or they need to be on, you know, stone, cobblestone connected to a dwelling. There's a lot around dwellings actually. In fact, let's go ahead and see. Would this help? That would help somewhat. But does it help as much as a sign? Or do signs... Yeah, signs are actually equivalent. Never mind. I mean, but at the same time, maybe it would be good to have a dwelling right out here. Okay, we'll build a dwelling out here. There we go. And then, let's see. Yeah, maybe start gathering seeds. But seeds are only useful if you have a mountain spring. So you know what? Never mind. Go back to the tall totem. And then we'll start collecting some more of these strawberries, which also give us seeds. Excellent! Carry on, my druids. I do believe that you shall be able to bring glory, wonder, and pride to the village of the Angry Owl. And from these humble, extremely surrounded by rabbits, oh my gosh, there are so many bunnies here, surroundings, we will hopefully be able to go ahead and we will celebrate having, let's see, then put this right over here. Okay, this one would actually, oh, this one would do it. There we go. We will be able to celebrate having the wisdom from our angry owl that we need to defeat the gods themselves. And then we have a lot of food, so maybe we'll get a little bit of wood and get ready for upgrading these totems. Ah, not bad. You know, getting a good establishment of wisdom seems fitting for the first day of the Village of the Angry Owl. I just hope the second day of the Village of the Angry Owl isn't going to be all these bunnies going rabbit or something. Oh no, rabbit? Rabbit? No, the pun was right there. I couldn't resist. I'm sorry. That was just too much fun. Oh no. All right, and then let's go ahead and get these totems upgraded so we can start pulling in a lot of wisdom and perhaps a lot of seeds. And then we will have to see where our adventures, aha, especially with those delicious, wonderful apples, take us next time. So, thank you all for joining us as this village takes its first humble steps into the future. Little do they know, did I just No, good. We built the totem. I thought I just trained everyone to be druids, and I was about to need to have a lie down, especially because that would be extremely ironic to give all of our villagers professions. One profession. Ah, here it comes. No, elder. Gosh darn it. Every single time. These elders are just so impatient. I'm trying to like wrap everything up, and they're like, no, we must see a warning from the spirits of the land. Now, apparently. I'm hungry. I haven't had brekkie yet, elder. Okay. The spirits of the land have shown me that the world is out of balance, and we must work together to restore it. Have the spirits forsaken us? There you go again, shaman. Do not despair, my companions. We are in this place for a reason, and we have been given a great responsibility. Let me tell you about my prophecy. Next time. Ha! I'm hungry. I'm going to go eat breakfast. I'll see you guys then. Bye.